All right, let's get started. So how is it that this idea of modernity really started to intrigue me? Some years ago, my wife and I were hiking in Kyrgyzstan, and as often happens when you're hiking in the far country, we stayed in a hiker's hut. There were a number of people who joined us in this hut, Westerners for the most part, and we had these great conversations each night around the supper table. And on one occasion, a Dutchman told us of his marvelous adventure that day. He had, in actual fact, encountered a local Kyrgyz girl, a Muslim Kyrgyz girl, and on talking to her, he was so much struck by how authentic she was, how rooted she was, how complete she was. And he went on and on and on about this and concluded that if he were to come back 10 or 15 years later, and he said this on a bitter note, he would probably discover that a McDonald's had invaded her village and other signs of our so-called progress. I have to say I couldn't really let things go. I found this just a little perturbing. I asked this Dutchman whether he thought that the woman was necessarily happy about the idea that she had to attend the mosque 3-5 times a day to pray, whether her parents were entitled to arrange her marriage, as they often do in that country, whether she was happy with the fact that she might never leave that locale in the way that the Dutchman was able to travel to Kyrgyzstan. Maybe she really envied him his freedom. Wasn't that possible, I asked him. At the same time, I asked if he would want to go back to his roots. That is to say, would he want to be a farmer as his Dutch forebears had been? Would he perhaps want to go to their very strict Dutch reformist church and at the same time walk around, not in his Adidas, but in these heavy wooden clogs? The Dutchman heard all of this, and he agreed I was making some very good points, but I don't think I convinced him entirely. Over the next 6 lectures, I would like to get to the very heart of this question. I'd like to ask, what is modernity, of course? And at the same time, how far is it going to take us? And in what direction is it steering us? Is it boundless? Does it just go on without limit? Or does it come to some type of end? How are we to survive it? That, perhaps, is the crucial question. Is there a rule book that we can come up with that will allow us at least to make some sense of this phenomenon? These are all very intriguing, vast questions, but deeply, deeply fascinating ones. So please join me over these next 6 lectures to look at this vast but fascinating topic.